Detail I-10, Hut. Detail Eddies. Relax, masks. Hey, good morning, Team Orlando, and welcome to another COVID-induced version of Virtual Colors. It's a little bit crisp here in Orlando this morning, so we're getting through it though. This is our version of winter, right? Only a couple of days before Navy beats Army. As you noticed earlier this week, we marked the remembrance and anniversary of Pearl Harbor. That was on Monday, December 7th this week. What we wanted to do today was take an opportunity to provide a little historical context and a little bit of a remembrance for Pearl Harbor. So join us as we move forward into our Medal of Honor reading.
Good morning. My name is Lieutenant Reynolds. I chose Donald Kirby Ross today for our Medal of Honor reading. As a fellow engineer, his actions definitely spoke to me. So without further ado, we'll do a little bit of background before getting into the reading. So Donald Kirby Ross was born in Beverly, Kansas on December 8, 1910. He enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1929 and was trained as a machinist mate. He advanced in that field and became a warrant officer machinist in October of 1940. During December 7th, 1941, Japanese air raid on Pearl Harbor, he was serving on board USS Nevada, battleship 36. When the ship was badly damaged by bombs and torpedoes, he kept the dynamo rooms operating until he was overpowered by smoke, steam, heat, and exhaustion. His actions kept the ship under power, allowing it to get underway and preventing it from sinking in the channel and blocking other ships in the harbor. Despite his impaired eyesight, Ross refused hospitalization and instead helped with rescue efforts. He entered a hospital 3 days later after the attack, and his vision returned to normal after 3 weeks. He was presented with the Medal of Honor by Admiral Chester Nimitz on April 18, 1942, becoming the first person to receive the medal in World War II. Ross was promoted to Chief War Machinist in March of 1942, and subsequently was commissioned as an ensign in June of 1942. Later in the war, he also served on Nevada during the landings at Normandy and southern France. Upon his retirement from active duty in July of 1956, after 27 years of service aboard every type of surface ship then afloat, he was promoted to captain. After leaving the Navy, Ross settled in Port Orchard, Washington, and ran a dairy farm. He and his wife, Helen, had 4 children. Ross passed away in Bremerton, Washington on May 27, 1992, at age 81. His ashes were scattered at sea over the USS Nevada. In 1997, the guided missile destroyer USS Ross, DDG-71, was named in his honor. Attention to citation. For distinguished conduct in the line of his profession, extraordinary courage, in disregard for his own life during the attack on the fleet at Pearl Harbor, territory of Hawaii, by Japanese forces on 7 December 1941. When his station in the forward dynamo room of the USS Nevada became almost untenable due to smoke, steam, and heat, Machinist Ross forced his men to leave that station and performed all the duties himself until blinded and unconscious. Upon being rescued and resuscitated, he returned and secured the forward dynamo room and proceeded to the after dynamo room, where he was later again rendered unconscious by exhaustion. Again recovering consciousness, he returned to his station, where he remained until directed to abandon it.
Wow, just wow. Lieutenant, thanks for sharing that portrait of courage under fire and frankly, a roadmap of what to do in a situation that seems hopeless and uncertain at the time. I think we can all learn a little something from that in these days. So I want to say thanks to all of our Team Orlando teammates for joining us for this edition of Virtual Colors. We'll be right back with you with some messages for the team in just a minute. Hello once again, Team Orlando teammates. Wanted to talk a little bit more this morning to give you some announcements for that are applicable at this time. So first and foremost, as it relates to COVID, we continue to mark the posture of Health Protection Condition Charlie and mitigate the threat of COVID in that way here on the base. One of the things I do want to talk about this morning that I think is of interest to all of us, though, is what we're learning as a result from some of the hybrid in-office and out-of-office work that we're doing at the time. Right now, we're having a little bit more people on board the base, somewhere between 250 and 400 on any given day. And some of those folks are participating in meetings with their IPTs from here on the base, while others are at home or other locations in a telework status. We're learning some things as it relates to doing telework in that kind of environment, in that hybrid environment, and making it seamless to understand who's there physically and who's there remotely. If you have a lesson learned and you have a suggestion, please, we want to hear from you. Please pass that to our digital department, pass it to the facilities department, or feel free to drop it in a CO suggestion and we'll act on it from that as well. Next, a little bit about the mission aligned organization that's ongoing still with NAVAIR and the rest of the NAVAIR family. We continue through that as well. Following suit with our parent command, NAWC Aircraft Division, in the spring, we'll be moving our business financial management team from the Command Operations Department to the Comptroller Department in order to align with NAWCTSD's movement. Our employees will all stay here. They'll all stay seated in the same place they have today, and such. They'll just be realigned to being NAWCTSD employees like the rest of our Comptroller team and pick up the code G8 rather than their current GT1 code. Along with that, we have the opportunity to differentiate our processes just as we've moved our organization around. Lots of ideas are coming forward at this time about how we might do things better, more efficiently, to differentiate training work from the aircraft and weapons work that goes on across other parts of NAVAIR. If you have an idea, we want to hear from you. Please bring it forward. Whether it's through the chain of command or straight in through a CO suggestion, we'd like to hear it so we can evaluate it and see if it makes sense for us to move forward with. Lastly, we talked a few minutes ago about Pearl Harbor and the solemnness of the remembrance there. Well, I do have a special message today from a member that was in the Navy during Pearl Harbor, stationed in the Philippines, and is a hero right here in Central Florida. Yes, Captain Robbie Roberts is going to join us today for a special message and let his thoughts about the upcoming Army-Navy game.
Go Navy! Beat Army badly!
Awesome. Thanks, Captain Roberts. We appreciate that message and appreciate the spirit in Navy's favor for this weekend's big victory. I hope I have half your energy as I get a little older myself. We really appreciate having you on board. We really wish Navy all the luck in beating West Point this weekend at West Point.